The Red Raiders add yet another offensive lineman via the transfer portal, this time from a familiar school from this transfer portal cycle. In Miami of Ohio offensive tackle Will Jados. In today's video, we'll discuss his skill set, where he could fit on the offensive line for the Red Raiders, i.e., is he a projected starter? And take a look at the overall recruiting class so far for the Red Raiders in the 2025 transfer portal class. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And I ain't gonna lie, we haven't talked about Will Jados on this channel. So this one was a little bit out there, but once we have a little bit more context, well, we'll discuss it here on today's video in terms of how this developed after his official visit this past weekend to the 806. But if you want to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football, on the recruiting trail, in the portal, and on the gridiron, all you got to do is simply like the video and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's jump into this. As I mentioned, he was on campus, was Will Jados, this past weekend with a lot of family, it sounds like. I was told by someone that he had like 4 or 5 family members with him. But anyway, from Westerville, Ohio, and he's a big human being. Let's just say that. He's 6'8", 307, has started 38 career games in college, including the last 27. He appeared in 40 games total in his college career. And according to PFF, has played over 2,200 snaps. Pretty solid stuff there. Now, 2023 is really where he showed out and ranked as one of the better offensive linemen in the MAC, actually garnering second-team All-MAC honors. He ranked out as a 66.6 in terms of his PFF grade that year. He will arrive to Lubbock with 1 year of eligibility remaining. And he had a ton of offers and a pretty solid offer sheet, right? You look at this: Oklahoma State, Pittsburgh, UTEP, Wake Forest, Texas Tech, amongst others, right? The interesting part here is it seemed like he was a pretty high priority, but it was more so kind of on the back burner in the sense that there was not a lot of conversation about him in terms of taking a visit to Texas Tech. Now the Red Raiders got the job done, and that's what you love to see. But it seems like he was a high priority from this coaching staff, most notably Clay McGuire, the offensive line coach. Now, it's interesting from this standpoint. When you look at him in terms of, okay, like the PFF grades or really what he did in 2024, I think a lot of people are going to say, okay, well, like that's it. Well, I think playing in a lot of games and being serviceable, albeit in the MAC, is a pretty promising thing for the Red Raider offensive line, considering the tackle situation Texas Tech has had over the last really 3-4 years. So I like Jados in terms of the addition. Now, the interesting part, as I round about my way to it, is will he be a starter? I think right now you probably have to project him to be a starter. The interesting part is what side of the offensive line is he going to be playing at? Because let's face it, he's 6'8", 307. He's not playing in the interior. He's not, and you feel pretty damn good about your interior right now if you're a Texas Tech fan, in the sense of you get Vinny Scurry back, you got Sheridan Wilson at center, and Hunter Zambrano likely slides in at the right guard spot. So you feel pretty damn good about your interior. Where does Jados slide in terms of, is it left tackle or right tackle? I think it really all depends on where you go in the portal, right? I fully expect the Red Raiders, and they should, add another offensive lineman in this portal cycle. Who will that be? I don't know, but it will be interesting to see, is that guy more of a fit on the right side or is he more of a fit on the left side? Because I think Jados could play on either side. Right now, I think you have to project him to be a left tackle because you don't really have anybody else at your left tackle spot. Now, do I feel great about him being your left tackle going into week 1 next year against Arkansas Pine Bluff? Yeah, probably not. I would like to see somebody else there, but this is a solid addition from the standpoint of I do think he is a starting caliber offensive lineman for Texas Tech, albeit probably your 4th best offensive lineman, because I feel really damn good about what you have going on the interior right now with the aforementioned Scurry, Wilson, and Zambrano from left to right there. So I like this addition, but I think in an ideal world, if Texas Tech was to go out and add another offensive lineman, Jados would slide over to the right side. But as of right now, I think you kind of have to project him to be the left tackle for the Red Raiders. But again, I fully expect Texas Tech to go out and at least add one more, if not two more offensive linemen, run from the portal, and hopefully another from the high school ranks. If you know, you know. Shout out to Ty Haywood, the 5-star offensive lineman from Denton Ryan. Hopefully the Red Raiders can land him. And then you have a nice problem on your hands in the sense of, okay, now we have 6 potential starters on the offensive line, if not a couple more, if you feel good about your depth there. And now you feel a lot better about the offensive line and the situation they're in than just even last year, where it felt like you really only had 3 serviceable offensive linemen and maybe 4 at the end of the year for Texas Tech. But solid pickup, in my opinion. Again, ton of starts, 38 career games, 27 in a row, played 40 total games, over 2,200 snaps in college. So you like the veteran aspect of this, and it'll be interesting to see where he lands on the offensive line. But I truly think he's projected to be a starter. It's just, who do you add elsewhere in the portal on the offensive line? And that'll probably tell you where Jados goes in terms of that player's strong side, whether that's right or left, and Jados is on the opposite. All right. Want to talk a little bit about where Texas Tech ranks currently. And I want to say this video is coming out on Monday, December 16th, recording it late Sunday, December 15th, after Jados committed to the Red Raiders. Wanted to look at where Texas Tech ranks nationally in terms of the portal class so far. I'd say that's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. 7 commitments so far, and you ranked second nationally in terms of your portal class if you were the Red Raiders so far. You've landed 3 blue chip recruits by 247's estimation. And for those that don't know, a blue chip recruit is that of either a 4 or 5-star. You've got Hunter Zambrano, right? You've landed Bryce Bullock as well. That is a blue chip type recruit. And you feel really good about this if you're Texas Tech in the sense of where you're going. And obviously the other blue chip I should mention is Reggie Virgil, actually the teammate once again of Will Jados. They played together up at Miami of Ohio. Now they'll be Red Raiders together out in Lubbock. So those are the 3 blue chip guys and the 3 4-stars you see right there. But overall, Texas Tech is nowhere near done. I actually kind of want to change my tune a little bit. And I think Joey McGuire may want to change his tune in the sense of like how many guys they add. He said that they wanted to add about 10 guys. I think Texas Tech is probably more likely to land 12 to 14 guys in the portal and kind of, quote unquote, trim the fat of the roster to add more guys that are more impactful in the portal. Now, again, that's just the business side of it nowadays. As I get back on screen here, that's just the reality of the portal, right? Like, you can go out and you can land more highly coveted guys that could be impactful depth or impactful starters for you now in a world where money is a factor. In Texas Tech, they have no shame about it. They're throwing money out there left and right, and there's big dollars being thrown around too. So I think it's interesting. Do I think Texas Tech is going to finish with a top 2 recruiting class in terms of the portal? Odds are probably not, but I do think that there is a really good chance that they have the best portal class in the Big 12 and likely a top 10 portal class overall, because they're going big game hunting left, right, and center when it comes to, we know what we need to address. Speaking as if I'm Joey McGuire and anyone in the building, we know what we need to address, right? And we're going to pinpoint it, and we're going to do so in a highly aggressive way, not only monetarily, but we're also going to do it in the sense of building genuine relationships and making sure that these guys fit the locker room culture that we have established over the past 3.5 years as Joey McGuire has been the head coach. But the big news in Texas Tech football today is Will Jados, Miami of Ohio, offensive tackle, commits to wear the scarlet and black. He will either slide in at the left tackle spot or the right tackle spot, depending on who Texas Tech signs elsewhere in the portal. But either way, you feel good about this pickup in terms of the experience, the skill set, overall size, and the versatility. So really like this pickup for Texas Tech. Just more interested than anything to see where he slides in on the offensive line. I am RC Maxfield, reminding you one more time, if you want to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football all year long with the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube. And oh, by the way, it's 100% free each and every video. On here, we're going live. We're giving you VODs. We're breaking news for you guys. We're listening to everything that's going on in this Texas Tech football universe. And if you want to stay in the know, all you got to do to join the Back to 12 squad is 3 things. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.